in the truthfully, look at ladies in the world of like CrossFit. Some of them, have some very, impressive physiques. So we're gonna pull it here.
That band, if they break the tension of their lead and can pull away, then you're only concerned with keeping the lead of someone behind you. There's a huge test in psychology, even the way that these ladies structure themselves amongst one another through the race. Final lap. Time to beat's 5:34. That was Alexis Raptis. Coming into the home stretch. Second straightaway before we get to the end. Haley Adams trying to hold off Tia Toomey. Amy Kringle, the rookie, is hanging strong with two of the fittest women to ever walk the earth. Still head-to-head, these two. Haley's got to be forcing herself to make a choice now. Is she going to try to make the move and cut Tia off and minimize the distance she has to travel, or will she try to beat her on the outside, which is a greater distance to travel? Final turn, 5:34 is the time to beat. That's 24 seconds from now as they move into the final 100 meters. And here's the kick. Why not Tia Toomey? Here comes Amy Kringle. Wow. Tia Toomey, the fittest woman to ever walk the planet. It's also the fastest here tonight at Farrington Field. And then if they break...
Now, that's Tia Toomey. She is considered one of the fittest women in the sport of CrossFit. She's a 7-time CrossFit Games champion, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, meaning she's from, I believe, Great Britain. It's Toomey Orr. And she's a mother, she's very athletic built. If you look at her, she has a very pretty physique. And CrossFit is getting popular, even though somewhat, it has gotten more recognition. I think a little bit has fallen off somewhat. But some of these ladies, if they ever want to get out of bodybuilding, they can transition to this division. And, or like I said, find something else to work for. Could they do this? Could some ladies like maybe Andrea Shaw, if bodybuilding aids for her, could she do CrossFit? But by then, Andrea is already in her early 40s. I don't know. She had an athletic background. Could some of the older competitors, it'd be a lot harder for them to cross over. There's also, instead again, powerlifting is very popular. But I don't know. Like I said, some CrossFitters, what I heard are kind of obnoxious, obnoxious. And the sport can change you in a way, because now you're on a different level, But I have respect for a lot of these ladies who do CrossFit. I do follow some of them, but not as many because, I'm more a fan of bodybuilding. But one lady I like to mention again, back in the day, you remember her, was Shannon Courtney. And you remember Shannon from, when she was competing, she was a top level bodybuilder, great physique. She did a couple of years in the IFBB before she walked away to, to do CrossFit. She, had a great look to her, very feminine, great muscle. But the story was that after a while, she just got tired of it. And she wanted to do something else. And that's understandable. When you do this, when you get a sport, it's an investment of your life and your time. What's the reward of it? Especially in bodybuilding, little or next to none. It's tough to be any woman in the sport and trying to get recognition and respect, especially compared to your male counterparts. And I said never this. I don't try to compare men and women one way, but truthfully, there's a double standard when it comes to men and women when it comes to sports. Again, it was a great opportunity to talk to my first. Now, like I said, I know quite a few ladies who do powerlifting on the side, but generally, more not. Most ladies don't do it full time because it can be a strain. But I know a handful of ladies who do it during the off season, they might use it to help, put on size and and also they love it. It's a sport they really love. You know, one lady I know that at one point in her career, she was a power lifter. She did it right after a few years for a while. When she kind of stepped away from bodybuilding for a minute. And this lady, really great lady, great physique, I think appealing lady. And this is Susan um, Graham. You know, Susan for a good while. She was a power lifter during the period before she came back to bodybuilding. I think right about 5 years ago. And this is an example of somebody who, you know, got out of bodybuilding and then came back. You know, Susan has a great look to her, great physique. I think she has a great appeal to her. And she was a powerlifter for a time, and she still trains. Just about differently compared to when she was a bodybuilder. You know, I gotta give her a lot of respect for it. My man David, he talks about it a lot. He's a fan of hers. And sometimes you do bring those aspects of powerlifting to bodybuilding, but truthfully, can't bring, you know, you can't bring you can't bring bodybuilding to powerlifting, but you do take from powerlifting the training regimen, to build size. And now it's different. You have to change from just building size to kind of conditioning. But powerlifting is about strength. And a lot of female bodybuilders are not as strong as you think. They're in good shape, but not as strong. One lady who I do follow, most definitely, who does powerlifting, off season, and sometimes doing before start of the season, is Angela Yo. And Angela has been doing it for a long time. She's has set records during her time. Um, would she ever, with bodybuilding way is going, would she ever fully invest more into powerlifting? That's a possibility. She's like I said, she loves powerlifting, and that's how she really got into bodybuilding through powerlifting. You know, she's a impressive lady. Being and she's the last real world champion of the Rising Phoenix, and it's tough to, you know, put on that time, come up short last couple of years, and now finally win the show, and now your title. You're just the last person to hold the title. It's still gonna be called the Rising Phoenix. I don't know, but there's a good chance we might see Angela doing that. She does do it on the off season. I know she was at the Arnold Classic a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago. She was there supporting, just representing women's bodybuilding, and she also was there for some of the powerlifting, seminars and also um, performances because she is again in heart to heart, even though she's a bodybuilder, she still likes and loves powerlifting. But that could be a transition for her if she ever, gets out of the world of bodybuilding and to get back into powerlifting again. Here she is. She's doing a little bench. Hope it's no music.
Here we go. Come on in. Come on. Go ahead. Out. There you go. Break out. There you go. Fire. Come on in. Come on in. Go in. No. I got
Yeah, big fan of Angela Yo. Maybe someday have her on here for interview and give her thoughts about where she thinks bodybuilding is going to go, especially for women. And as a fan, I'm like I said, I'm here as a fan. That's why I'm here as a fan. Really wanting to talk about what is their future outside of this sport for the women. It possibly is. It's just that they have to want to have that future for themselves and also for their sport. If for order for bodybuilding to live and survive, you have to put up the time and the work for it. If not, then it's going to go to the wayside. You know, But I really, like I said again, I really, as a fan, as a person who follows this sport, I want more for y'all ladies. But that's up to you. It's nothing I can do. You know. Folks, if you have any comments in, it might be won't be on too long. Usually have my usual suspects, but I know a lot of people are frustrated. What's going on? They're telling me it's what's the point of doing this? What is the point of come out here every other week and talk about this, where no one really cares to even come on and give their opinion or state their thoughts? Well, maybe it's for me, not so much for them, but for me as a person who's seen the sport going through what it went through for the last 30, 40 years and try to see is there a plan, something to do, whatever to do. I'm like I said, well, keep trying to do my muscle talk Mondays as long as I can. Maybe I might be cutting them down maybe a couple of weeks out of the week I'm thinking about. But one thing I might be changing is, when I do my interviews, and especially when I do my lives, I always want to give a shout out to Jake Wood. Now I think again, I understand. You heard me talk about this yesterday. I understand that he's a businessman. He's doing what he got to do. But as a fan, I feel like it's another person walking away from women's bodybuilding, especially when they need him the most. But at the same time, again, the women's, they're the ones who's responsible for themselves. But then, Jake, you're the one who came in and scooped it up and pulled it out from the abyss. So if you hadn't heard yesterday, what I said, our podcast with our roundtable discussion, I will no longer go Jake, Jake. No, that's gone. Nah, I respect you, Mr. Wood, Mr. Jake Wood. I respect you, but I think I think we're just gonna be business, and I'm just gonna respect you. So I'm not gonna do my Yo Jake anymore. So I know if anybody asks me to do it, I'm not doing it. But I do appreciate the people that are here. If y'all are here, if you want to, the link is in the comment section. You want to come in, chime in, give your thoughts. I really appreciate it. Like I said tonight, I am flying solo. Um, this is for my man. Shout out to my man Emmanuel. It's sad that if this is the end of women's bodybuilding, well, I won't say it's the end, Emmanuel. It's just trying to find a solution for what these ladies can do outside of bodybuilding. You know, trying to find something else that might interest them. There's still a lot of young competitors who probably can move on and go and do something else, maybe something worthwhile. Some competitors might need to, if they are thinking about moving up to women's bodybuilding, maybe stick there. But I think it's going to be a lot harder for the much older competitors. You know what they're going to do afterwards. One guy I follow, his name is he's been on one of my comments. His name is Sky. And Sky mentioned that why not women's bodybuilding open up their own little thing? But that's hard. You can't do that on your own. You need people who want to put up the money. You need people who want to put up the sponsorship. You remember a while back, Betty Pariso and her husband was going to try to do the whole, World Beach Body Federation, and that folded because he got sick and she had to take care of him. So, and there was a lot of people now who are out because they don't have that anymore. Some people now have to, get back with the NBC and IFBB, and there could be chances that they may not be able to. But maybe again, I would like to do more interviews and talk to some people and give their thoughts. And I understand a lot of you don't want to put yourself out there, but this is the thing: if no one speaks about this, what are you going to do? Uh, This is from, how you say, Manuel, it's not a sad day. They did this to themselves. Yeah, but at the same time, when you don't section the rules and set up the standards and you allow these things to keep going, and then you don't, like I said, like doing our you missed yesterday's podcast, Raheem. What Janine was telling me, they used to go every so often. They sent out a memo telling athletes, "Hey, cut back," but they're not doing that so much. It's not. It's say he says this is his. Say George, do yo Jake yo. Nah. I'm not doing it anymore. He's a hater. You know, But nah, I'm not doing that anymore. That's done. That's done. Nah, no yo Jake here. It's Mr. Wood, Jake Wood. I'll say that, but no, know your Jake. Nah, nah. You know, if I know a guy named Jake, I will say that to him, but not him. But could some of these ladies cross over to other divisions or other organizations? Oh, sorry, other organizations. Like like I said again, but things they have to do. Like if they want to go to some place like I know I was chatting with Lisa Sege, this NABA, and I don't know will women's bodybuilding cross over easy in NABA. Mm, I think they were pushing it out of that organization. Or if you can find somebody who is a fan of the division and maybe start their own, possibly. But that's not going to happen. Really, it really has to be a lot of big time investors, a lot of guys who have deep pockets, and we don't have the issue of maybe losing some money to gain some money. That's the thing. You have to find people who are willing or want to take part of this. You know, but I do want to hope that some change could happen. Now, here's the thing is, I'm gonna go back to it. It has to be up to the ladies. Like I've talked to people tell me, y'all are not standing up and fighting for yourself. So what you expect? If you're not going to fight for your sport, your division, what anybody's supposed to? Like I talk about man Big Keith. He says his division is good. Men's bodybuilding always going to make money. They're always going to have some bit of wealth or something or whatever because they have sponsors. People willing to put their money where their mouths is for that division more than it is for women's bodybuilding. But here's the thing is, I would like to see the opportunity there for bodybuilding to have a fight and to represent itself. Here you get my man, Ace Bang Coon, my man KLA, the Wanderer.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How everybody doing?
Hey, brother, how you been doing?
I really not. I don't know. I can't call it. I'm just It's getting nice outside. I just came from the store.
Yeah, I need to go shopping myself too. It's
Yeah.
about to be the first, so I gotta get success. But as I was talking about how, I would say, I think what can women bodybuilding do? Can they just give up and move on and go someplace else? Like, if you saw the thing, I think like CrossFit or maybe powerlifting. There's some ladies who had started out as powerlifters.
Yeah.
And then some I've heard that have started in CrossFit, eventually switching over. But the thing is, I think it's gonna be a lot harder for those older competitors.
Yeah.
Then those probably have to do masters. And some ladies say they don't want to do masters.
You gotta pay for that though, the masters.
Yeah.
I don't know. That don't make sense to me. I don't know. Like you in a sport, a sport, and the reason why I did that because it's like it's just funny to me. It's like you gotta pay to compete. Like I don't get it. I don't know about that. So, but
Well, it's amateurs they have to pay to compete.
yeah.
But
That
then
don't make sense.
yeah. But the fun thing is the pro got to compete. Oh, we got a comment here. This is from Raheem says, you should come on. Said, come on where it says, or wait a minute, he says, I should come on. Well, come on, son. Come on. We want to hear your mouth. Come on. Come on. We want to hear you. Come on. Come on. Come on down. Come get your whipping, boy.
Yeah, he's gonna be doing a lot of talking, so I'm gonna just embrace it. He got a lot of explanation more than me. I mean, I can't really call it, man. I mean,
well, like I said, you're a welcome guest, and if you have
yeah,
anything you want to share, you're welcome to share it. That's how this is an open conversation. I know some
I
people,
appreciate it.
some people might have a little more to say because they have an understanding of it, but
Yeah.
anybody's serious work. That's why I have put in the comment section. But Raheem, you got enough? You got enough, son? Come on down, son. Come on down. Take your whooping. But I was going back to the thing about how CrossFit. You ever seen CrossFit? How it's really
Yeah,
had
I
gotten
see some
popular?
of it. I see it like on YouTube, but I sometimes like they'll have like their tournaments and stuff like that. You know, they'll do like handstands and they do certain what like exercises to perform. But I seen the tournaments, the competitions and stuff a little bit.
Hmm.
What happened?
Yeah. No, this is just I got a message to my
Mm.
phone. Let me
Oh,
turn it. Let me put it on silent. But yeah, but it's some of those women. If you look at them, many of them have muscle just like some of those female bodybuilders. And I've known quite a few who were CrossFitters who switched over to bodybuilding. The big
yeah.
question is, could they go back?
Oh, I thought your screen froze. I mean,
Well,
like you said, everybody can't do it. Everybody can't do CrossFit because I've talked to some people and they said that they just couldn't do it. They just stuck with bodybuilding. You know, yeah, they was doing it and they just it just wasn't for them. You know, everybody can't do it. So but then again, they weren't like women bodybuilders like that because I talked to like ones that's maybe like in bikini or maybe figure and stuff. I don't know. With the women bodybuilder division, I don't know where it's going. Because I mean, if they're not if they're not focusing on them with the wings of strength, I don't know. Like the women have to get together and do something about it. So
that's the thing. They have to because you know what, they probably understand what's going on, and if you're not willing to put up a fight for yourself or your division, who else is supposed to do? Like I saw this video. It was I follow certain ladies and who do content, and most
mhm.
definitely one of my favorites is Chelsea Dion.
Yeah,
Chelsea, she's competing this week at the Triple O, and I'll quote the video in a bit if I can find it. Let me see. Here it goes. Where she talks about how she felt because she heard the news about what's going on with the Ouija strength. And it's tough that time you put in, the work you put in, and the opportunities are getting so far few between. Not just for yourself, but also for your division. So let me give you a
yeah.
few minutes. I know I saw it. It's somewhere here. Yeah, yeah, folks, give me some time. I know it's somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna see if I can see. I gotta find it here. Oh, there it goes. And already. And this is it's all she was on a live stream interview with Sharonka Hinton and Nicole Zenobia on their Beyond Barbell podcast, you know, and there it is.
Okay.
It is.
And who's this? This black?
It was the
This?
day that they
Oh,
announced the Rising Phoenix thing. And then I got a text message about another possible show that was being dropped, a really big show. And I was in the gym. I just started crying because I'm like emotional right now thinking about it because it's like, I was feeling horrible. And I was in the gym, and then we hear the Rising Phoenix is dropping our prize money. I'm hearing that this other show is being dropped. And it's just like, what am I doing this for? Like, yes, I love to compete, but at the end, I was at the gym the other day.
And that's the big question. It's I think it's pre-recorded, so it probably won't have it till maybe later this week and show the interview with Chelsea,
mm.
and
And
get her.
whose page is
Yeah,
this?
this is on Sharonka Hittens. Sharonka Hittens, she's number 3 in the world in women's physique at the Olympia.
Okay.
She's
All right.
also a coach and trainer. You know, this
You was talking with her
Sharonica.
before, right?
No, I have never talked with Sharonica.
Okay.
Press physique. Beautiful chocolate lady.
Yeah.
She served in the military. Actually, I remember a while back when I did my interview, she was in she did some photo sessions for Glenn at Amazon Fitness. That's one of her wearing a pair of boxing gloves, and that's when she was down here in North Carolina working when she was stationed in the the Navy. I mean, in the Army, and she's with Nicole Novia. You know,
Damn, who's that? Who's she with? Who's that?
that's Nicole Zenobia Graham, and she is figure Olympian.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, good friends. They work together. These two great ladies, they got their own little podcast.
All right.
I gotta get into them. Who got in, folks? He's here. Oh no, I know. Yeah, here comes trouble. So yeah,
Yeah, what's happening?
yeah. I don't know.
Hold
He
on.
might be doing. Wait, wait a minute. He's
Hold
in
on.
the middle.
Seconds. Crazy ass Mike.
He said, "Hold on." Hey,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm running around. Hold on. I'm running around. How are you?
All right. How are you?
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you. Can hear us.
I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I'm just running around. Yes, I
All
can hear
right.
you guys.
If you
All
want
right.
to send us.
So about the topic at hand. Nah, I'm still. No, I want to address the topic at hand. I want to address the
Go
topic
ahead.
at hand. Just excuse
Go
me.
ahead. Go
Um.
ahead.
Okay. I get. Listen. I've been preaching this since I don't know. I've been on this show for what 2 years now. I've been preaching it, and I've been preaching the same thing. And you got to look at. You can't get mad at Jake. You cannot. He saved the sport division that he cherished and liked. But again, like I said, if there's no return on investment, you just can't keep throwing money at not at things that's not making a profit. The only reason why the WNBA is still around 29 years later is because it's connected to the NBA. That's it. And NBA pays off of it. It hasn't WNBA hasn't made a profit in 29 years. And even though it rised up last year, it still lost money. And the WNBA has to it's a subsidiary of the NBA is a subsidiary of the WNBA. So they lose it. So let me say it like this. If the WNBA folds, NBA will save money. You get what I'm saying? You can't just keep throwing money at it. The thing with the female bodybuilding is this: when Jake saved it, the opportunity was for the bodybuilders to go out there and promote the sport. Just like, okay, here's the thing. I had saw Ashley Jones' story on Instagram, and her thing was, oh, the men are getting paid more than the women. It's not just in sports, it's in society, blah, blah, blah. I beg to differ. Men and women across the board ain't getting paid right. If you think about executives up in corporate America, that's a different story. The average man out here is struggling. In fact, there are more men in shelters than females. So I don't know how men are making more money than women when there are actually more men homeless than women. So we got to scratch that note. And then on top of that, you can't use that as an excuse because when female bodybuilder got revived back, it was the female bodybuilder's job as athletes, as I want to be called, to promote the sport. You just can't say, "Hey, Jake, give me money, give me money, give me money," and just go away for a couple of months until the season starts again next year. That's not how the sports work. Every athlete that's in every sport has to do this. Right now, the NBA, because they only got their money's doing well because of the TV deal. But they got it. But the NBC said, listen, we paying you all this money. You want to do things our way. We don't. You gotta phase out these old guys like the LeBrons and the Kevin Durant. We want the new stars. We want the younger guys. Promote them, and the NBA is going to do that because NBC put so much money into it. The whole purpose now is we're living in a generation and time where all athletes across the board. I'm going there across the board, thinking as an athlete, I should be paid and not do shit. LeBron James said he's the highest paid player, but when Chicago Bulls beat him last week, he didn't put no defense. You get what I'm saying? It's like you can't be an athlete and say, I deserve this money because of my God given talent, and then not put the work in it and act like you deserve it. That's not how it works. What happened again with the female bodybuilders when they got revived back, they should have said, "Hey, let me go on to these media tours, promote the sport." You get what I'm saying? Because again, I did that a couple years ago with two female bodybuilders on Keep It Real Hot and Fresh, and none of the hosts belittled them, talk or out of their mouth, talk and disrespect them. The hosts were asking about the sport of bodybuilding, The guests, who was Tigress and Teresa, broke down what bodybuilding is, the sport, and everything. They was and the host was asking questions. They all had a good time. At the end of that segment, they all had a good time. See, if they had kept doing that with different podcasts, and then talk about other things but bodybuilding, they would have grew. It would have grew. I told you about the Tubi. Get the deal with Tubi. You see now, all of a sudden, Tubi's getting big. Tubi did the Super Bowl back in February. Now they got to deal with the NFL. This is what I'm saying. You got to go onto these platforms to make the sport be big. You can't say 1 minute out the mouth, oh, you can't. Sorry, you can't say 1 minute out the mouth, oh, you gotta give us money because we work hard in the gym. Again, no one sees you in the gym working out. What they do is you on stage posing, and then you have to tell people who are new to it the difference of being if bodybuilding is a sport or pageantry. You gotta do that. And then on top of that, she said, "Oh, I need to be more on social media." This is the key word. You want to get paid, but then you say to yourself, "Oh, I need to be on social media more." This is what I'm saying. They're not on social media now. Pocket. You know why the bodybuilders in Brazil, the female bodybuilders in Brazil are popping off? It's because they're going on podcasts. They're going on podcasts in Brazil that's not only talking about bodybuilding. They're hitting every mark they can. And this is why it's getting bigger down in Brazil. Because the people in Brazil say, oh, these are not just female bodybuilders. These are people. They got lives like us. Oh, they like hip hop. They like this. They like music. They like style. They like clothing. Oh, wow. I could connect with her. But if you're not doing that here in the States, then that's the problem. So you can't. Now you're doing 2014 all over again because you just want the money, or you just saying to Jake is gimme, 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 gimme. It's like Goodfellas. When Henry Hill said, "Oh, you got a problem. You can't afford the food. Fuck you, pay me. Oh, the lights about. Oh, fuck you, pay me." This is how the women are doing it, and you can't do that. This is what it is. He saved the division. It was up to the females to say, "Hey, let me go out here to the social medias and make it more bigger, bring in new audience, more ticket sales, and guess what? The more money they get, the more prize money goes up. That's how it works. You just can't rely on the same old people." And I won't land my plane there.
Yeah. Well, I understand. I understand what you get, but you know what? I still gotta be mad at Jake. Like I said, that's why I said I'm not saying no dick anymore. That's the right to be mad because I'm a fan. I got the right to be mad, but I understand. I understand. But that part of me that's mentally insane, that other guy, the other guy, he's just an anarchist. He's like anarchy and chaos, and sometimes, he just do. That's how he works. Just do. So, but here we got a comment from Emmanuel. He says this. Shout out to Emmanuel. Says, do you think that some of them will eventually go into World of Muscle Worship sessions or making online content, OnlyFans, her biceps, or films, just to engage with fans and continue for a lifestyle?
That was our topic last week, right?
Yeah, I think I think we did touched on it. That wasn't a topic, but I think we touched on it. That
some parts of it, not. I don't think it in depth of it like that. I mean,
Emmanuel, I think that's a wrong move. Let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a wrong move because you have other females doing that, especially in the adult part. You don't want to do that because it's going to damage the sport even more. And now instead of people looking at you as quote unquote freaks of nature, which they don't, they're gonna be like, oh, they doing porn, and then you want to uplift young girls. So let me ask you this question: how you going to lift the next generation of females, but yet you doing OnlyFans and porn? That don't make sense. So it wouldn't be a good idea. I'm telling you, the best idea is continue to put yourself in. Listen, there's a lot. I'm be honest. There's a lot of independent film directors on YouTube, on Instagrams that will love. Okay, what's that girl? Jacqueline Fouch. She's over in Europe right now. She's doing movies. Sooner or later, she's going to blow up over in Europe. She's going to leave that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just for her, bodybuilding is just going to be a hobby.
Can I ask a silly question, Raheem?
Good.
Why don't you try to reach out to them? Because it ain't too many people is reaching out to them like that. But then again, they pick and choose who they want to talk to. Maybe you introduce yourself to them and talk to these women bodybuilders. You could like make a podcast or make a documentary or something.
No,
It seemed like you have like.
listen.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, they have to do themselves. Let me tell you. Let me explain something right now. If you're claiming that you're an athlete, if you claim that you want money, right? You have to hit. Listen, it's not like the '80s and everything. You have so much everything on Instagram, social media is there. You can reach out to film directors. You can reach out to podcasters. So I told you, Shannon Sharp. All they have to do, there has to be a cousin, a husband, a boyfriend, or someone who has done journalism, PR, and or in public relationships that can say, "Hey, I could get you on Joe Rogan. Let me hit him up because Joe Rogan. Listen, the problem is you can't. You gotta put your politics aside. It's not about that. So you like, oh, I don't like Joe Rogan because of such and such and such. Forget that. Get the sport out there. Joe Rogan got a big platform. Just go on. He does talk about bodybuilding. Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay, same situation. Go on.
Well,
Because you keep
interested
saying,
in
oh, people
female
got to
bodybuilding.
no, let me say something to you. They do not look like they're freaks of nature. What happened?
No, I'm saying, are they interested in
Go
talking
ahead.
with the women? That because he had Ronnie
You
Coleman,
gotta
and
you gotta try. You gotta listen. Nothing. Let me tell you something right now. Nothing beats a try. You can't make an assumption. Make an assumption. Make an ass out of yourself. You can't be like, duh, there you go. You gotta be out there. That's the whole issue. The issue is they're not out there. The issue is that they expect that Jake has to burn money, no a return on investment, pay them anyway, and they say, "Oh, I'll see you next year, Jake." That's it. That's not how sports work. Listen, if they call themselves athletes and they quote unquote into the world of sport, they know that's not how it works. That's not how you grow it. You don't just win a championship and say, "Oh, I'll see you next week." You go on a media circus, you talk to every media and everything. It doesn't work like, "Oh, I win Miss Olympia. I'm going to disappear. You're not going to hear from me in December, from January till up until April. You're not. That's not how it works. That was Jake's. Let me tell you something. That was Jake's downfall. He should have told those women, "Listen, any of y'all who wins Miss Olympia, y'all gonna go on press tours. You're gonna represent this. You're gonna represent Miss Olympia." Just like how a woman represents Miss America, you're gonna go on every press tour, you're gonna represent the sport, you're gonna make the sport grow. If you don't want to do it, don't bother getting a pro card. That should have been the deal. He should have put it down like that. So when you put that down, you know who's real and who's not real.
And one thing is,
Because
ladies,
you
you
got a
can't
woman that
use
win 5 times. What's going on?
yeah. And one thing you can't use excuses. Like I reached out to ladies who's not even top level. Just I reached out to a lady a couple of days ago. Hey, what's going on? Says well she's got a shot. She wants to reach out. The thing is, you want to share your story because you never know when somebody might be. Hey, she has an interesting story. She might have something that maybe might want somebody to share, or maybe somebody's going through what they're going through, like going through life changes and also finding that they want to do something different. That's the thing is you have to be willing to put yourself. So that's the thing about women. It's true about women. Women are usually the ones who like to have to be approached. But the thing is, men, we do it enough. You
yeah,
know, if you want something bad enough, you have to go out there and get it, like we do. One thing like like I said this, if you're gonna allocate this money, well, it's fair. Like if you're gonna have men getting like, I'm not saying that Andrea should get like as much as Samson Dua, but at least enough where which okay, it looks like she's getting something what she put into it. And also, she is doing stuff here and there, like pillow stuff like that. But yeah, need to do more. And got to outreach stuff. She was at the Detroit show. Like he mentioned, go next year, get Linda Murray, get a couple other ladies. Hey, let's add women's bodybuilding to it because maybe get some ladies who want to jump on. Especially I know ladies who live in Canada, ladies who live in Michigan area, Wisconsin, Illinois. That'd be a show that'd be closer to them. They don't have to go clear across here and there. Ladies would love to have a show that's a little bit within their area and then the time limit, especially when you're prepping. Here we got a comment from shout out to Damon J. Says he talks about every athlete, including the ones in the past. Also, this is from Damon J. He says this. He says some IFB pro women that have been a guest on this channel have gone to those websites that you mentioned, Emmanuel. Yes, they have because they try to make their money. Also, this is from Manuel J says, Mary J, I will not say any names on this channel, but I know what I know. I know that. And this is from Roy saying, Nicole Zenobia is fine. She is. She's fine. I know last year, was it year before, she's supposed to compete at the Olympia, but she had to drop out because she was dealing with some kind of injury. And you know what? Her and Sharonica, they restarted the podcast. It was originally her, Sharonica, and Lahara Robinson, but Lahara, she's moved on to something else.
You be
She's
looking
coaching
at
and
the
training.
pod, a lot of not to cut you off. I was gonna ask you. You be looking at a lot of the women podcasts.
Yeah, I watch some of them, like that's
Uh,
why I told you about when I found information about Sherry
yeah,
Priami, because I follow Amanda Machado. I follow the Go Figure podcast. They come on, and they talk about, when they had was it about a month or so ago, they had both Shanique Grant, who's going to be doing her Wellness debut this year.
yeah,
They had Mrs. Trescott, who is talking about getting ready for her figure debut. Even Missy, she has her YouTube channel. She'll do podcasts, but she do post stuff on
yeah.
there.
I mean, if I looked at some of they, I'm not consistent on looking at their stuff. Like, I'm sorry to say, I just not. I'll look at sometimes I do, but for some reason I'm just not really too consistent on it.
Well, neither
Um,
I. But every so often when I'm working on stuff and I need to have
yeah.
time, or I have time, and I say, yeah, I listen to it. I might be working on one of my comparison videos or working on something. I just listen to what they're talking about.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I could get what you doing, like, cause you like doing research and telling them about themselves, but like, for me, it's just like, okay, I'll look at their workout routines that they do, and it's just like a little bit, but it ain't like, it don't really stand out so much to me. I just, I look at their pictures and their videos. That's it. Like, sometimes I'll listen to what they're saying if the conversation is appealing to me, But I don't really like so consistently just like listen to their stuff like that. I just don't, man. Like,
well, also,
You
let's
know,
say this.
so sorry, it should. Well, when you do a podcast, there's nothing wrong with them talking about bodybuilding, but at the same time, each topic should be about things outside of bodybuilding. You don't have to be personal about your life, but and to
yeah,
grab an audience, you got to have that charisma. You got to have the personality to say, "Hey, this is what I do." I don't know if it's culinary cooking. You can talk about you like fixing cars. Maybe you could they'd be like, "Wow, she fix cars? Oh shit!" You know how to
yeah.
fix
It just gotta
you got
stand
to put
out.
it has to do that. You have to have the personality. That's the
It,
and that's the